Hey guys, apologies for the brief hiatus. I ended up going out to Seattle for my brother's wedding, which I was a little nervous about because it's like liberal Mecca, but it really wasn't that bad. I had some awesome hikes that I went on and enjoyed some awesome scenery. But let's get back to my videos. So I figured I would do my favorite holster that I currently own right now, and it's relatively new. It is the Tier 1 Concealed Xiphos Elite. Now, some of you might remember I made a video on the Xiphos V2, the OG one, and I wasn't a big fan of it. And the funny thing is this came out maybe a week after I posted that video, and all of my complaints that I had about that original V2, they fixed in the Elite. And I am not a fan of standard holsters. I am a huge fan of this holster. And I'll tell you why. Because it is a good hybrid between a standard holster and a sidecar appendix holster. And the reason for that is they widen the clips like they have in a appendix carry sidecar holster. They're not close together like a standard. And the reason I like that is because it shifts the weight apart. And I have it sit directly in the center of my waistline, of my belly, and it sticks out to the right side just a touch. And believe it or not, it feels just like a sidecar holster. And that's why I really like it, especially those of you out there that are having bad back issues and you can't really carry that much weight anymore. This is actually a really good option for you. Okay, now a few of the features that I really like that they changed, and a few of the features that I changed myself because I made some mistakes when I bought that original V2 holster. And one of them is I went with a smaller firearm for this holster. My last holster was for the Glock 19, but I was using a Glock 45 Glock 19X in it, and I don't think it was great for that size of a firearm. So for those of you who follow my channel, you guys all know I am a big fan of the CR920P. So this is the gun I got this holster for. For those of you who have one of these firearms, the Glock 48 MOS holster works really well, works perfectly with this gun. So they don't actually have a CR920P option. So if you're going with this gun, you want to get the Glock 48 MOS holster for this. Now, one mistake that I did make, I'll show you here in a second, is I don't know what I was thinking, but I put a threaded barrel option on there. Let's see if I can get that focused for you guys. You don't need it. You do not need the threaded barrel version, so make sure you just click no with the threaded barrel. It'll work just fine without the threaded barrel. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm actually going to heat this up and just squish it together and make it like it should be on all the other holsters. Second thing that I did is I did not get the light bearing version this time. If I'm running a gun like this, it is mainly going to be during the daytime. I am not planning on throwing a light on here at all, and that really kind of made this holster smaller, and that was kind of the purpose of this holster and gun build, was to make it as light as possible. And I think that worked out really well. What I loved is they actually I don't think they listened to what I said because my video was so late, but they actually curved the holster a little bit. Okay, remember if you watched my video, my big complaint was it was flat all the way across the holster and it didn't really bend with your body. So what they did, it's probably going to be kind of hard to tell, but right here, this spot right here, because the top is all flat, right here they started curving it around, and they made this plastic piece right here separate from the holster. So what that does is that really makes this holster bend with your body. And that is what this holster was missing. It was missing that bending part. It literally felt like a 2x4 in your pants because the other holster, the original V2 holster, did not bend at all with your body. And I tried all different kinds of positions and I could not find a position that worked. I put this one on for the first time and it felt comfortable and I haven't even adjusted it yet. Okay, but one other thing I did and it really made a difference is I put the standard wedge, I think this is standard, yeah, standard wedge right on the center of the back there, and that was a game changer as well. That made this holster incredibly comfortable, and I absolutely love wearing this. This is probably the first firearm that I absolutely love wearing. It's not too heavy, and this gun is so small that it conceals incredibly well. It still has the stack system on it, and I use all 4 stacks that they give you, and I moved my clips all the way down to the bottom when I wore this and keep them straight across like this. I'll show you what it looks like with the firearm in there. So I have enough clearance right there to get my fingers around and pull it up and get it out of my holster. Now, one thing I'm not a fan of, and this has nothing to do with the holster, it's just how non-light bearing holsters are. I don't like the click. Okay, they have that click. I don't like that pulling motion I have to get it out. I really like the slide retention that you get with light bearing holsters. Unfortunately, I couldn't get that with this, so what I did is I just loosened up the retention screw on the back. I loosened up pretty much as I could to get it to where this is like not hard to pull, not hard to pull out of the holster. Because the one thing I hate is when I have it in my waistline and I pull it and it actually pulls my belt up like a ½ inch and then it comes out. I am not a fan of that. That is not a consistent draw. I want a consistent draw every single time, and I don't like that ½ inch pull I get with my belt before it comes out. That is not something I want to train with. That is not something I want to practice with. So that's why I loosened this thing up as much as I could. I think my other one, I actually took this screw completely out, but the holster didn't even end up working. So I actually put this one back in. Actually, I never took this one out. I just loosened it up as much as it could go there. This, if you were wondering, this is the Buffalo Plaid Kydex design. I was a pretty big fan of green and plaid, so I thought those were cool. I think it cost you like an extra 20 bucks, but if I was gonna get a holster that I was gonna love, and I had a feeling I was really gonna like this holster, I spent the extra money because this is something I'm gonna carry with me all the time. Does color matter? Absolutely not. Color does not matter. If you liked the old design, you can take this plastic part off right here. Let me take this guy out. There's nothing. It's unloaded. Just for you guys out there, there's absolutely nothing in there, okay? So I'm not flailing around for no reason. If you like the old design, but you want that curve, you can take this plastic piece off and take this clip out, and you can actually put it back in the original spot if you want to wear it just like the other design was. And I thought that was pretty cool that they put that option there for you if you wanted it. I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely love this holster. I do not like standard holsters, and to me, this is the hybrid between a standard and a sidecar. I don't like the sidecar because of the added weight that that extra mag gives you. I like that they have really wide clips, and this kind of fixed that problem. It is easier to get on and off than the original was. That was one of my big complaints, was how difficult it was when the clips were really close together to take the holster on and off, because most of the time that's what you're going to be doing with this holster. You're not going to be using this in a self-defense shooting all the time. You're mainly going to be taking it on and off. So it better be something you're comfortable with taking on and off and you're not struggling with it. The only thing that I didn't like about this holster was my own fault and thinking that I needed the threaded barrel attachment when I really did not, because there is no threaded barrel on there. I thought that compensator was going to fit in there, and it actually fits in there without that. So, I mean, besides my own stupidity, this holster is absolutely fantastic. I highly, highly recommend this holster for those of you out there that are like me, that are in the sidecar world, but you're starting to have a bad back, or you're having injuries where you can't carry as much weight. This is a great holster to go for. I don't know why there isn't as many videos on this holster, because this holster is fantastic and it should be more popular than it is out there. And I hope that you guys watch this video and you do pick one up, because this holster is way worth it in my opinion. But I hope you guys got something out of this video. Remember to train hard, get strong, be a protector. If no one said they love you today, I love you guys. God bless you all.